to one and all present here. The topic we are going to see is thermal reactors and breeder reactors. First you should know what is meant by thermal power plants. Thermal power plants, also known as thermal power stations, they generate electricity by converting heat energy from various sources into mechanical energy and then into electricity. Thermal power plant is a collective term which includes fossil fuels, geothermal, solar and nuclear power plants as well as waste incineration plants. So, these are some of the types of thermal power plants. Okay. What is an example of a thermal power plant? Almost all coal fired power stations, petroleum, nuclear, geothermal, solar thermal, electric and waste incineration plants as well as all natural gas power stations are thermal. Natural gas is frequently burned in gas turbines as well as boilers. These are some of the examples of a thermal power plant. Then you should know what are the types of thermal power plants in India. There are various types. Some of the types I have mentioned here are coal fired thermal power plant, gas thermal power plant, geothermal power plant, biomass thermal power plants, nuclear thermal power plants. And in the side if you see means this is an diagrammatic or a sketch of a thermal power plant. Then you should know what is the basic principle of a thermal power plant. The burning of fuels such as oil, coal and liquefied natural gas fires a boiler to generate high temperature, high pressure steam. This steam is used to drive a steam turbine. A generator attached to steam generates electricity. So, this is the basic principle how the electricity is produced. If you see the parts means the thermal power station consists of, so here I mentioned this is a thermal power plant diagrammatic sketch and the parts only I am explaining. The thermal power generation consists of using steam power created by burning oil, liquid natural gas, coal and other substances to rotate generators and create electricity. And then you should know which coal is used in thermal power plant. The main coal which is used in thermal power plant is bituminous coal. What is this bituminous coal? It is also black and has less moisture and more carbon content. It consists of 45 to 68% of carbon content. Bituminous coal finds applications in thermal power plants and industrial boilers. Thermal power plants are a key sources of power because they can respond to changes in power demand. Then what are the uses of thermal power plants? Thermal power plants in India are used to generate electricity. The electricity generated from these power plants is supplied to various industries and households. So, the electricity from these thermal power plants only supplied to industries and households. The thermal power plants in India use different types of fuels like coal, gas, oil and nuclear energy to generate electricity. Then what are the benefits of thermal power plant? Definite thermal power stations are moreover devised to create heat for industrial functions, for desalination of water, that is for purification or for district heating, also for producing electrical power. Thermal powers have been employed as a natural form of energy for almost thousands of years in heating and cooking, mainly for heating and cooking and then for desalination of water and for all industrial purposes the thermal power plant usage is more. Then what are the disadvantages? The amount of water required to keep the turbine somewhere at the proper temperature appears excessive. Thermal power plants emit enormous volumes of smoke and pollutants. They have an impact on the environment. The power plant's overall efficiency was approximately poor. The expense of upkeep seems to be high. So, its impact on environment is a main reason. Then the next topic we are going to see is on breeder reactors. So, first we are going to see what is the definition of a breeder reactor. A breeder reactor is a nuclear reactor that produces more fissile material than it consumes. It is designed to extend the supply of nuclear fuel for generating electricity. Then what is the difference between thermal reactor and breeder reactor? Thermal reactors use slow neutrons to maintain the reaction. These reactors require a moderator to reduce the speed of neutrons produced by fission. Fast neutron reactors, also known as fast breeder reactors (FBR), use high speed unmoderated neutrons to sustain the chain reaction. So, this is the main difference between thermal reactor and breeder reactor. Then how many breeder reactors are there in India? that you should know. There are presently 22 reactors with a total capacity of 6,780 megawatt in operation, and one reactor KAPP3 700 megawatt has been connected to the grid on January 10, 2021. In addition, there are 8 reactors totaling of 6,000 megawatt under construction at various stages. Next, here the important breeder reactor is fast breeder reactor. So, what is the working principle of fast breeder reactor? A fast breeder reactor is a nuclear reactor that uses fast neutron to generate more nuclear fuels than they consume while generating power, dramatically enhancing the efficiency of the use of resources. Nuclear fission by fast neutron causes the increase in neutrons generator. Then what are the advantages of breeder reactors? The advantages with a breeder reactor is that it generates more fissile material than it consumes. So, this already I have mentioned. Also in the second stage, FBRs would use plutonium-239 recovered by pre-processing spent fuel from the first stage and the natural uranium. Then next is what are the disadvantages of these breeder reactors? Breeder reactors are more dangerous than conventional reactors because they produce more plutonium-239 with a half-life of 24,000 years, which can be used to make nuclear weapons. They use a coolant liquid sodium, which is very dangerous metal. Example, it explodes when it comes in contact with water. So, these are some of the definitions and then uses and disadvantages of thermal power plants and breeder reactors. Thank you.